I mean, it's strange when you think about that. But you know, it's exciting. I'm excited to be back. It definitely was weird to think about, being a guest instructor last year and then ended up playing the season, So, but just, it's good to be down here and good to see all the guys and just excited, for another season, that's for sure.
Mark? Oh, sorry, Daniel.
Andy, can you just take us through your process for why you didn't decide to go join the WBC?
Well, I'll tell you, I wanted to play. I did want to play in it, and obviously after having some conversations with the Yankees, not too excited about me playing in it, and just decided against it. It just felt like that. As badly as I wanted to play and as excited as I was about playing, just thought about it and this needed to be the focus, and I guess it just came down to not really wanting to take quite that chance of something going wrong and then, kicking yourself all year long or whatever. So it was a tough decision, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never had a chance to play for my country. I know a lot of people might think it's not a big deal at all, but it was a big deal to me. It was a real big deal, and was really considering doing that. So just one of those deals where I felt like that this was probably the best move that I can make for this organization and for our team.
Otis.
How nice was it to see Mariano back after last year's devastating injury, not just for you personally, but for the entire pitching staff, because he's such a leader?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't need to sit here and just say, what a difference maker he is, and just what he brings to his club, his personality, his makeup. You got to have him, and it's just exciting to see him out there and running around and feeling good, and having somebody in their 40s to talk to out there, it makes you feel real good, especially.
Andrew and Jack.
Andy, what would be the criteria that you use this time and when you decide to retire, or if you decide to retire?
It was, I think I kind of mentioned to you guys at the end of the year, it was, I didn't know obviously exactly what I wanted to do, but just really just had the desire still to work. I've obviously I shut it down for a little while after the season was over and let my body recover just for a little while, but it's strange being out that year and not, working out, I think, and not having a routine and stuff like that. I had a desire to work this off season, like I was still kind of young in my career, and not that I could work as hard or whatever, but just the desire to just go over to the gym and to do my stuff. And, so it made it an easy decision. And especially now that I made the decision to retire and to be home. And again, I think you guys all know the battle that I'm having between my family and my boys and my wife and seeing your kids do the things you want to see them do, I think led to me, shutting it down for that year. And I think it was good in a sense to take that break. I don't regret it at all. So, but just it was pretty easy, for me to draw the conclusion, especially when the Yankees, immediately came. I think Cash spoke to me as soon as the season was over, and it's like, we want you back, man. So, just makes you feel good, obviously, to be wanted and feel like you're kind of can make a difference on this club. So, it's pretty easy decision for me this offseason.
Bruce.
Andy, 12 starts last year, you had the fractured leg. What are the expectations? What's realistic? What are you looking for this year?
Well, I expect to make every start. I really do. I don't know if, exactly what everybody, what people expect, but I feel great. I didn't have any problems. My arm was feeling great. My body was feeling great before I broke my leg. And I feel like I can do what I normally do. feel like I'm better now than I was at age 30. I mean, obviously things hurt a little bit more, and it takes a little bit, longer to recover. But as far as just being able to put the ball where I want it to go and be able to read swings and handle things that come along during the course of the game, I mean, I don't know if I'm overshooting here, but I mean, I just feel like that I should be able to. I wouldn't come back. I feel like I could do what I've just been doing, So that's what I expect. Now I don't know, what that adds up to. I know Joe, is going to try to protect me as best he can as far as keeping my innings limited or whatever. But man, I mean, I hope to throw 200 innings and make all my starts and. I want to win. Heck, I want to win 20 games. I mean, that's what I want to do. So, I think a lot of the stuff's in your, mentally where you're at. So that's what I'm thinking.
A few more on Jack.
And
Maybe to the right, Jack.
I know that time will help you come to the answer, but you've talked about making every start, 200 innings, 20 wins, the desire still being there. As you sit there right now, you don't sound like a guy who's thinking that retirement is in his vocabulary. Is that a fair characterization, that you're looking even beyond 2013?
Well, I mean, I can tell you right now, just as I sit right here, like I would say, I hope this is it. You know what I'm saying? But having gone through this and done this, I will not. I'm not going to shut it down again unless I know for a fact that I'm done with this. I mean, I just. So that's why I feel like mentally that's where I'm at. I just, again, my kids are getting at an age where they're getting older and stuff like that, and I would love to be there. But as a man, I just know now that, kind of been through it, so I just kind of know what to expect, and I want to finish strong, and I don't want to think, that this is going to be it, or think this is the end. I think whenever it is, I think it'll be an off season, and I'll just know, I'll just know it will. But there may be an injury or something like that tells me, you can't come back, you can't do it anymore. And if that's the case, that'll be, that's the way it'll end. But for right now, I'm trying to keep my mind just moving forward and thinking that I can do this. Yankees are paying me a lot of money. I've got a big responsibility here, and I want to uphold that responsibility.
Pat.
Andy, when you mentioned as a man, is part of your reason for being here because the man is supposed to be the provider and this is what you do best?
There is no doubt that when I was retired and sitting at home, no matter how much money you have, as a man, you want to do it. You want to work. You want to be productive. You want to make money, and so that there's definitely, there's definitely some truth to that. This is for me. This is what God allowed me to do. He made me a baseball player. And so there is no doubt that's definitely goes along with some of my thinking for sure.
Wally.
Hey Andy, I want to go back to the WBC thing for a second. You said the Yankees weren't excited about it, but my understanding is they can't tell you not to play, right?
Right. Yeah.
But apparently they pretty strongly discouraged you not to. How strong was
Well, they
their...
they didn't want me to play. I
Yeah.
mean, they weren't crazy about it, and I understand it. It's understandable.
Was that from Cashman?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I spoke with Cash and spoke with Joe. Supportive. If you decide to do this, well, obviously we're gonna support you. But
But we don't like
obviously did not really, was hoping that it was something that I wouldn't do. And like I said, I understand it. And at the time when I was considering it, I was just hoping they would understand, which I knew they probably couldn't. But again, for me, it was a big deal. I've done a lot of things in this game. I've never had a chance to play for my country. I don't know if that sounds corny or whatever, but it's a big deal. It was a big deal to me.
Take the place of the Olympics for you?
Yeah.
Was that, yeah.
I'll take two more. Harp and Dan.
You think you would have made a different decision if you 10 years younger or whatever? I mean, does age play into the decision as far as injury concerns and that type of thing for the WBC?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, part of me, I felt like this was the perfect time. I mean, you know, just because I feel like I can handle everything's a lot better than I can 10 years ago. Like I felt like I was going to be able to handle the moment. You know, if there was a moment where I'd want to overthrow or do whatever, you know, that might injure me or something like that. Where 10 years ago, I probably couldn't, you know, quite do that. So, you know, so just a lot of things. The biggest thing was, man, if this goes bad, you know, if something did happen, really, I gotta sit there and listen to you guys all year long say, why this guy pitching the WBC? You know, so anyhow, so that was, you know, a lot of it was just, if something happened, you know, I want to be there. I want to be there for the organization. I want to be there for the team this year. And I guess, you know, if something goes wrong, I want it to go wrong when I'm playing for this club.